was expecting huge servings of spaghetti. But you know how much I got? This much, size of my phone. Disappointed. I mean, come on, man's gotta eat. All of us have standards, just like Jehovah. And as imperfect humans, we can never set the standards as high as Jehovah and always meet it. Especially when it comes to viewing our limitations and those of others. And if we do so, we will be disappointed. We will have that small portion of spaghetti. So how can you and I maintain a realistic view of ourselves, of our limitations, and of our brothers? Well, there are two steps. The first step is recognize our limitation. The second is to get Jehovah's viewpoint on how he views us as individuals. So what would that be? Well, please turn your Bibles to Romans chapter 3 and verses 23. That's Romans 3, verse 23. And as we read this, try to detect the tendency that each and every one of us have. So Romans 3:23 mentions, "For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God." Did you notice what our tendencies are that Jehovah is well aware of? It says here that all have sinned. Now it's interesting that the word sin in the preceding verse, the Apostle Paul mentions it, and it's literally translated as missing the mark. Aren't we all miss the mark at times? To illustrate this, imagine that someone is hoping to win a prize, and he does so by hitting a target with his bow and arrow. Now, he only has 3 tries, so he goes for his first attempt. He draws his bow, and he misses by a yard. So he goes for his second try, still misses by a foot. Frustrated, the archer now tries to concentrate, and he goes for his third try, and bam! Still a miss, about an inch. Disappointed, the archer wants to walk away and never come back. Now, aren't we all like that disappointed archer? That sometimes, no matter how hard we try to reach Jehovah's standards, we miss by a mile. Or even though we're so close, yet we're so far. Now, going back to that illustration, the man in charge of that game tells the archer to come back. And I want to give you the prize that you were trying to gain, not because you miss it so many times, but because of how hard you try. Friends, Jehovah God is the man in charge. And he doesn't count how many times we miss, but on our efforts, despite that we don't meet his standards. So friends, if we're disappointed with our limitations, if we're disappointed because someone has done us wrong, and they're a brother and a sister, or if we're disappointed because of our past mistakes, remember that the man in charge does not count how many times you miss, but he counts on how hard you try. So friends, Jehovah, Jesus, and the angels view you and others in a balanced way. The question is, do you?